2.
What?
It's the podcast.
You were gonna say go, man.
Oh shit! I can't do it right.
Do you want 3, 2, 1, go?
Oh my god! It's the podcast. Can you believe it? He's in an empty house now, so he can do what he wants. Welcome to another hour down the drain.
What about game opinions?
Game opinions. What's your favourite game of all time?
Favourite game of all time is Halo K.
That's not a game.
It could be okay.
Well, I'm sure there is a game. I'm gonna make my hair look as crappy as possible for this podcast.
It's probably either Borderlands 2, because it has the best thing ever, it's just fucking brilliant, or Bioshock Infinite, which everyone hated for some reason.
Why did everyone hate it? I thought it was really liked.
No, apparently everyone hated it. I have no idea why.
That's really weird.
Yeah, apparently everyone hated it. I was like, what the fuck, it was such a sick game.
Yeah, they did a really nice barbershop quartet rendition of God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. I'm looking at the album cover for Pet Sounds right now on my fucking iTunes. I got a new CD today.
Cool. What was it?
Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti Before Today. It's a sweet little thing. It's very pleasant and I love it.
I could tell you that I have never heard of them in my life.
You've never heard of Ariel Pink at all?
I probably heard of Ariel Pink,
I've never told you about Ariel Pink. I really like Ariel Pink. I'm getting heavily into it. And if anyone listening's heard of Ariel Pink, then I actually can hardly believe you. I also have another Ariel Pink's first solo album, Pom Pom.
Oh yeah, I have heard of them.
Loom Loom.
Loom Loom.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I love it very much. It just said in the podcast thing, I was looking at a page called How to Podcast. It said talk about what you're passionate about, but I'm not sure I can censor the word dick a lot, so I'm just going to have to talk about Ariel Pink.
I want to drop kick my chair right now.
You could if you wanted to. Oh my god, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. Oh my god, it's happening right here on the podcast. It's happening. Oh my god, this is so action-packed. You wouldn't get this on any other podcast.
That's the fucking thing.
You wouldn't get this on any other podcast. Oh my god, it's happening, guys. It's happening. It's happening. That's where the magic happens. Oh my god, he's going from outside. He's out the ring. He's out the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Finish it. Finish it. Finish it. Oh my god, that was so shit. That was so shit. Do it again. Do it again. Oh my god. He's back for a second round. How did he get up after that? How did he get up? He's an animal. He's an animal. He's not a man. He's a machine. And he comes out. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you didn't answer my question. Favorite game of all time?
I didn't answer the question.
Oh shit, what was it?
Bioshock Bioshock Infinite, which has a great story mode and great gameplay and greatness, and Bioshock, not Borderlands, is such a sick game because I couldn't stop playing it because it had so much quest and shite, and yeah, basically.
Nice.
What's your favourite game, pal?
I don't have it in my thing right now. I've got a bunch of Xbox games up in my old room. This is my new room, and even though it's not new, I've been living in it since before the start of the year, and it would have to be Halo Combat Evolved, the first ever Halo game. I love it so much. I first played it in France on the original Xbox, and I played it with all my cousins because it had sick multiplayer, and we'd kill each other, and we'd do all these missions really ineffectively because we'd always die, and we'd fight over who got to drive the Warthog, and we'd push each other off really high things, and it was just the best time ever. That's probably my fondest gaming memory, is pushing my cousin Charlie. Oh my god, you have the
Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
If we could play at some point.
We could, we should.
We could and we should. And we would.
We'll do it. You should record it as well.
Yeah, I'll try
and yeah, I love it so much that I went all the way to France. We played this in my granny and granddad's summer home in France, because that's where the original Xbox was, so we'd wait all year to go and play it there in the summer, when we should have been outside. But I went all the way to France, and I went into a town called, begins with a G, or maybe it's just Vichy, I can't remember. It began with a G, and I went to a game shop and I found the anniversary edition which means you can switch between the graphics and shit. And I've got that game upstairs, and I'll probably play it later and stay up far too late. I love it. I love it. It's probably my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite game of all time, and it still holds up by today's standards.
Well, I thought it was really cool that not Bioshock, it was Gearbox. I don't know actually create this game because it's Gearbox and 2K, but they released a remastered
Try again, my child.
They released a remastered edition of Borderlands 2 and the Borderlands pre-sequel.
But why would they remaster a game so recent? I mean, that game came out ages ago. I mean, Combat Evolved came out 10 years ago, that's why they did it. But why would they revamp a game from, like, last year?
Borderlands 2 wasn't last year, it was like 2 years. It was 3 years ago. Borderlands 2 came
Everything of that of note happened in 2014. The years just blur together nowadays.
But was it called? It's called like the pre-sequel, prequel.
The squeakle.
Squeakle. Wait, where's my phone? I'll try and Google it here. Yeah, they released the pre-sequel. I think it was actually called, but the one that came out, that was quite decent, but it came on the Xbox 360. So I'm guessing they only did that to put on the Xbox One, and it's cool. And I don't know when Bioshock is going to release a new game.
What's the most recent game you've actually gone out and bought? You've actually gone out to a shop and bought it?
It was going to be the Handsome Collection, which is the Bioshock and the pre-sequel remastered editions. But I have not bought that yet. I've went out and bought. It's not been ages. It's probably like Skate 3.
I can't even remember. I remember I went to a shop to replace my copy of Call of Duty Black Ops, but I can't even think. I went the night that Batman Arkham City came out. I went to Tesco at midnight to get the game, and I got the special edition of the game, which means I could play as Catwoman. Fuckers. And I try-harded that game so hard, and it's an absolutely brilliant game. Except I didn't play Batman Arkham Origins because I'm not even sure. Was it on Xbox 360? Was it on last gen?
I don't know, but I've got it for the PC.
Oh, I'm not sure. I should endeavour to buy Batman Arkham Origins if I can play it on anything I own.
Yeah, I got Batman Arkham Origins, which was because it was 2014. Nah. I think it might have been 2013 going to 14. I got for my birthday. I got this PC. It's absolute shite. It's like the worst PC ever. And then for Christmas, I got Rakes of Games. Like I got Battlefield 4, which I knew straight away I didn't expect to play because it's one of the most high-end computer games you need the best fucking computer for.
Yep, James.
Yeah, I got Arkham Origins and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the only game I could play on my PC was Arkham Origins, so I just sweated that the shit on my PC.
I wish I could do that. Have you ever gone out and bought a CD, like gone out and bought music at a shop?
No, because no one uses CDs.
Oh well, fuck you. I've got a collection.
Nah, well, not much people use CDs anymore.
I love them. I just buy them so I can get the digital copy and play it on my phone. My iTunes library is very cluttered right now. The most recent thing I went out to buy, I went all the way into Dundee where I knew there was a HMV, and I got these. You probably should recognise that. You should recognise that. That's the Beatles Abbey Road, and behind it, Magical Mystery Tour, because they're my two favourites.
Magical Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine.
That's not got Yellow Submarine on it, no.
Oh, just the album cover looked like it did.
Oh, let me check it. No, it doesn't. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh. Yeah,
you've heard I Am the Walrus. That's probably the most popular track off it. Or Strawberry Fields Forever, or Penny Lane. I don't know. Every Beatles album has such an insane classic on it. I can't think of a Beatles album that doesn't, except Revolver. I don't think any of those songs have become, like, instantly recognisable.
The last album I've ever owned was a Rudimental album.
Alright.
Because Rudimental were sick.
I don't know. The first album I ever got for myself would have to be Sitting Here. And I believe it's either... I ordered Tame Impala Lunarism, Mac DeMarco Salad Days, and Ariel Pink Pom Pom all at once. They're probably the first albums I went and got for myself. but the first album I ever received from someone else was from my mum, and it was David Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World. And that's my favourite David Bowie album to this day, because it was the first full album I ever listened to ever, because I heard a song on a skate video. I heard a song on a skate video, and I was like, that's the shit. It was The Width of a Circle.
And
it was on a skate video.
Artists don't allow their music on YouTube videos. Yeah, it's basically free publicity.
Well, I don't think that's what it's about. You can't get Beatles music anywhere, except, can you get it on iTunes?
I guess so. Beatles is the most popular boy band in the world.
Boy band. They became a lot more than a boy band.
They're still a boy band.
They were a boy band for like 2 years when they were doing all that "She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah" stuff. But then they started doing really weird shit, and they ceased to be.
They're still a boy band. They define as a boy band.
Oh no. Well, okay, yeah, sure, okay. They are a boy band. They pretty much did everything One Direction do, except they made way better music.
What's the band called? Is it the Beach Boys? The Beach
What?
What are they called? Oh, fuck no. But if you think about boy bands back then, people, when you think about them this day, they think of them as great artists, like the Beatles. So, but then you've got boy bands this generation, who people think are absolute dickheads and gay.
Well, I think if you look back...
Wait. So if that means, in the future, will we look back on One Direction and what's the other band called, 5 Seconds of Summer, or some shit, and think that they were good, they made good music?
I don't know, it depends how shit music gets. I don't know. I don't like the music now, and I doubt just because it becomes old. Now. I doubt that just because it's become old, they'll become a classic. I don't think anything that One Direction has released thus far will become a classic in the eyes of the future. Whereas music that was released previously literally shaped. Because music that was released back then was pretty much the start of it all, the start of really interesting music. And what made it back then so good is that we can hear bits of today's music in music back then, because where else are modern artists going to get their influence from? And I don't know, I just feel like One Direction are never going to improve, but part of what makes Beatles revered as the greatest band of all time is that they went from just singing like cheap pop tunes to really complex orchestral deep stuff, and they did that in such a short space of time. But I can't see One Direction ever changing anything they do musically. And honestly, who gives a shit about their music at all? It's just people falling over them. Yeah, it's just people only like them as personalities and as things to look at. When they go to shows, they're all screaming and making all this noise. They don't stop and listen to the music. They just scream because those guys are on stage. And in fact, that really bothered the Beatles, because they recognised that they couldn't even hear themselves playing over the sounds of all the girls screaming. So they gave up touring completely, because nobody gave a crap about the music. But I very much doubt One Direction would do that. They'd probably be like, hey, still all this money though.
Isn't that what... Who left? Was it Zayn or something?
Zayn. He left because he wanted to be a normal 21-year-old, and then he got a buzz cut. And so, I don't know.
It's noticed that all the One Direction look like absolute...
Oh, don't... Wait. No, homophobic stuff. I'll cut it. I'll have to cut it now.
All the One Direction mayors
okay.
now look like even more mayors because they look all gothy and shit.
They look very weird nowadays, especially Harry Styles. He looks like...
Does he not got like a big massive sleeve?
He's got tattoos. Bandanas and shit. I don't know what he's trying to do. The look he's going for does not match the music he's making whatsoever. He just is like a punk and a really messy guy, and then he's singing "And we danced all night to the greatest song ever," or whatever it's called. Like, just
what was it that for homophobic?
just be what you are. Come on, God's sake. Although credit to them, they were in the big BBC production of that big collaborative thing. They did Beach Boys, God Only Knows. They had all these modern artists doing this, and One Direction were there. And like the 2 seconds they were on, I appreciated that they were there. Although they probably hadn't heard this song before they did that.
You might have. You did, Ken.
I don't know that. Okay, yes, okay, I'm talking about my arse, but I doubt.
You doubt it, but it could be true. Yeah. Basically, the summary of that topic is that One Direction are never going to be a good band. That's essentially.
No, I think the music for the fans has become kind of secondary. I mean, musicians are just becoming like any other celebrity or public figure.
Well, the Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. They're all becoming Kardashians.
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 I remember some Kardashians.
Like people say, oh, like Beyonce's like so perfect, and like Beyonce's like just life goals. But they're like, what are you gonna say anything about Beyonce's music while you're at it? Nobody talks about their music or the music they produce. They talk about when they release a new album. They're like, what's it gonna be like without Zayn, for example? They won't say, like, how's this gonna affect the music at all? They're gonna be like, what's going on with those guys? And I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what's going on. I just want, if they make good music, then I'll forgive anything that goes on in their private lives. Because I believe, like, everyone says that musicians back then were so corrupt and so minging, and they did all these drugs and stuff. But
it got worse, basically.
I think whatever needs to happen for the music to be that good is totally excusable, in my opinion.
Yeah, music will always be around. At some point, I think there'll be some point in our life where every song in the world currently that's being made will be shite. It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. When are they going to run out of music? When are they going to run out of stuff?
What to say?
No, not to say. They'll never run out of stuff to say.
No,
I mean literal music. Like, will they eventually exhaust every single combination of notes?
Well, probably not.
That's quite a big thought. It would take ages, I think.
No, it would take ages, but probably not, because...
But even now, there's still songs that sound really similar.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, it sounds really similar, but it'll be so far into the future that it'll sound so similar. It'll be the exact same song at some point, but no one will remember it was a song like years ago.
Yeah, like Blurred Lines and that Marvin Gaye song.
But it's like, basically, let's say a really small end band, make a song and it's really good, but there's that small a band that no one knows it's a good song. So basically, then in the future, someone will make an exact replica of that song, and then people might like it. What if that was a thing?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happens nowadays. You get modern bands doing covers of stuff that came out ages ago, like classics that came out ages ago, and people don't even recognise that those are songs that were written ages ago. They say, wow, this is such a weird sound. Nobody does sounds like this. This has never been done before. No other music sounds like this. And they're like, well, it's actually a cover of a song that came out 50 years ago. Like...
But you can't really...
Come on.
You can't
like
blame
when
people
One
for that,
Direction...
though,
like when One Direction did that song by Blondie, if that song wasn't already such a commonly played song, then people would be like, whoa, this is so original. How'd they come up with this? There should be more music like this. And I'm like, there was, like, 40 years ago.
Basically, you can't really... You can't blame people for that, because it's not exactly like people are going to go in their spare time and look up bands from like 50 odd years ago.
This guy does.
Yeah, but not everyone does that though.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I think if they heard the song, the old original version of the song first, they wouldn't like it. They'd think, that's okay. But it's, it's just a classic. People only like it because it's old. It sounds too outdated. But then they'll hear these guys, modern people, doing a cover of it, and they'll think, whoa, that's so fresh and everything, just because it's been modernized, which I understand. I can understand why people would like a modern take on an old song. But One Direction didn't even do anything special with it. I've been trying to listen to different music. I've been trying to listen to a little bit of rap and hip-hop. I think the perfect album for anybody to listen to is Gorillaz' Plastic Beach, because it has everything on it. It's an absolutely beautiful album. And it's got rap and hip hop on it. It's got a bit of rock on it. It's got music that'll make you cry, man. I mean, come on. Honestly, this is probably the album I cry at the most, is Gorillaz' Plastic Beach. And people must have heard of Gorillaz, because they're really popular. They're not even being disbanded for that long, right?
Well, Gorillaz
I say that.
hasn't even kind of disbanded, to be honest with you.
No. Well, they're releasing a new album soon, and everyone's hyped. Me and James are hyped.
Yeah, you and James. I kind of like Gorillaz. I've only heard a few other songs, but I haven't.
Listen to Plastic Beach.
Yeah, again, I've not actually cried at anything. Me, the only thing I can remember crying at is the Euro. Was it the Euro 2010? Does the Euros even come out in 2010? It was like the Euros 2010 final. It was Italy versus Spain, and Spain won. No, actually, it wasn't 2010. It had to be 2012. Anyway, so Spain won the World Cup. 2 years later, they won Euros, and I was absolutely raging because the Spain bet the two people I wanted to win, because I wanted Holland to win in the World Cup, and they got bet by an absolute bullshit fucking goal. And then in the Euros, they bet Italy, and I was fucking raging, and I started crying. And I was 13 at the time. So yeah.
Greet away.
Yeah, I've not really cried. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't just fuck up my recording by opening up Audacity. That would suck. Bah. There we go. Just got to sync it all up.
Bah.
Bah. Bah. That'll be tough to do. Well, it'll be synced up to you. I'm just trying to sync up my voice because I'm recording it separately.
I was just clapping for no apparent reason.
It's because people just applauded my present. So we've been bitching for a while. Anything you want to talk about that you like?
That I like?
That's tough to think of, I know.
There's so many things.
Here, I recently got Twitter. I'm back onto something I hate now, I'm sorry. But I recently got a Twitter account.
Recently? You had a Twitter account, you just never used it.
I had a Twitter account, I just forgot how to use it. I didn't know how Twitter worked, but now I've got my head around it. Kind of. I'm still not sure what hashtags do, but
it's like it's kind of like a keyword, if you get it. So if you do like hashtag, let's say the Queen died or something, you do hashtag Rip Queen, and if people want to know about it, they would type in the search bar hashtag Rip Queen, and every person who's just got hashtag Rip Queen would come up with all their tweets.
Oh, right. So is that how things become trending? Like you can just look for that, and then you find every tweet that has that in it.
Yeah, or
I
the
understand
most recent
that.
tweets and the most top tweets.
Then why do people like hashtag stupid shit like I'm eating a beast sandwich, hashtag cheese sandwich? Who's gonna look up cheese sandwich? Like, I really want to see some shit about cheese sandwiches right now.
It's not. That was the whole point of hashtags, but now people have just turned it into like a gimmick or like a meme or something. It's just hashtag anything, and it makes no sense.
Memes frighten me. Memes are genuinely frightening nowadays.
Basically. But isn't a meme just a trend, essentially?
Well, no, it's just something... I'm not even sure how to describe it anymore. There used to be certain memes, like the fist bump kid and the chicken or some shit.
The Doge.
Millhouse was a meme.
Doge.
Yeah, Doge, that's a meme. Yeah, and the Angry Asian Dad or something like that. They were all memes. But now, memes are just something so different.
What do you mean?
Like... just an obscure image with some text on it. That's memes. And that sense of humour, like the sense of humour that's come from like Sniper's videos, like frag videos, just basically ripping all these over the top kids and like the Doritos and Mountain Dew stereotype and everything like that. That sense of humour is kind of hard for me to deal with. It's really weird. Like people get really obscure images and do pretty absurd things with them, and I find it so fucking hilarious, but I'm like, why am I laughing at this? This is such a weird, twisted sense of humour that you can't find anywhere else but the internet.
It's the beauty of the internet.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how beautiful it is.
Yes.
Which brings me back to Twitter, right? The only people I follow on Twitter that I know are my girlfriend and just a few people from school. And because of that, like, they're all girls, though.
Get in. What?
Yeah, no. I've noticed since then that they always retweet really complainy stuff. That's all people do.
Your girlfriend writes the most complaining stuff.
She does. I talked to her about it. I'm like, bro, why are you complaining? Like,
to be fair, she is a very, 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 very easily emotional person.
She's
Just
very.
more, like,
She cries.
I told her my uncle was getting divorced.
She told me about this.
She cried.
She
She doesn't
cried.
even know my uncle.
She
doesn't even know
actually
his name.
cried. She actually cried. I know she was telling me about that. She was like,
you didn't even get his name. What the
she was like,
fuck?
she was like, in German, Jack told me that his uncle was getting divorced, and it was so sad. And I actually had to stop walking for a second to comfort her. I was like, Mia, stop. Get a grip, man. Find your balls, woman. What are you
I
doing?
have no idea what. Perhaps it's not working. Okay, good. That's nice.
You can have mine.
Wow. Great job, guys. Wow.
Bow wow.
Twitter.
Twitter is so complainy. I don't get it. Because they always say all these girl things, just like, why can't I be like other girls? But all the other girls are doing the exact same fucking thing. They're just complaining. And you'll see pages that are obviously designed for guys, and they're fucking hilarious. They're so optimistic, and they have all this hilarious shit on them, and you're like, hey, this actually makes me feel good. But then you go on stuff designed for girls, and it's like that moment when you look like shit, and it's like, I don't want to feel like I look like shit. Why are you telling me that? And it's always feminist shit as well. Like, show this to all your boyfriends, tell them how it's fucking done. It's like some guy asking someone out to prom in a really cheesy or annoying way. And it's like, that's just gimmicky. And it's like, don't assume that we're doing something wrong. It's like, I'm just, like, feminism really annoys me. I'm scared to talk about it, but it really irritates me. It's becoming not about women at all, it's becoming hating men because men are dicks.
Yeah,
like,
that's the whole thing, that women think men are dicks, so reproduction shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
we're kind of going into very dangerous territory at the
basically,
moment.
like, feminists are just arseholes, basically. I'm saying it, I don't fucking give a shit.
A lot of them are very extreme.
They're
A lot of them
arseholes,
are
just
very
like,
extreme.
oh, men's exist, they're dicks, basically. That's their argument most of the
Yeah,
time.
like, we can't be everything we want to be because
it's like,
men. It's like, what?
can we just elaborate like, they say, alright, like you said, this guy's asking someone to a prom in a really cheesy way, and
Yeah.
last it's like, oh, why tell your boyfriends to go?
Yeah, why can't my
It's
boyfriend
like,
be like this?
Do you they don't understand how much pressure it actually goes into asking someone out.
Yeah.
It's the most pressuring thing in the world. If I would be a girl, I would. In this instant relationship, because then, one, I didn't have to pay for dinner. Two,
Yeah.
I get asked. I don't have to ask them. So
Yeah.
it's so much less pressure than being a male and being in a relationship than being a female, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Females are just expected to accept all these gifts and be sexy. But there's such a high level of standard for men nowadays to do all this ridiculous stuff, like propose in absurd ways and do all this prom stuff. And mate, I'm in 4th year. I've not got prom for another 2 years. I can't do that shit. I can't do that shit yet. I'm like, I'm 15. How much can I honestly do?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, and of course, during prom, there will be all these posts from girls, just like, looks like I'm going to prom alone and waiting for someone to ask me to prom. Like, you know what? Prom's no big deal. I'll just go alone. And it's like, what? Why are you just sitting there all butthurt, feeling like nobody's gonna ask you to prom? In reality, it's usually really attractive girls that do this. It's like, fucking ask someone to go to prom. Every single man on earth is frothing. Remember this.
Not every man, but where we're going.
Every man is frothing. So just fucking ask. Just ask. That's what we have to do.
We should release a clothing brand named Frothing, or just
Yeah,
hashtag Froth.
Froth clothing. Yeah. Froth has become a thing now. We have a thing. I'm really pleased that Froth has become a thing.
Froth and Peshwarina.
Peshwarina. Nobody knows about Peshwarina yet.
Yeah, that was a late night thing. Late night with Jack.
Yeah. That's our
could be
porn
our
stream. That's our porn stream that we do after this.
It's like when I rage at games and he's just texting his girlfriend.
Basically.
Just of it, and sometimes we'll play Cards Against Humanity.
Sometimes. The Cards Against
Basically,
Humanity gets
just-
brutal though. What did I say? I somehow constructed a card that set the scene for my girlfriend getting an Academy Award for the best vajazzled vagina or something like that.
Oh, like you have to understand. Every time we play Cards Against Humanity, it would just be me, him, and his girlfriend. He digs himself into the biggest holes ever, and somehow gets out of them.
Because I know she loves me.
It's basically like one time there was a thing saying my relation status blank. It's like my relation status is, and then blank. And he put fucking awful, and somehow got away with it.
Because I know that she'll understand it's a joke. I know that she'll pretend to be really butthurt about it. But I know that it'll all be a joke, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, honey, I love it, I love you. No, she's got a good sense of humour. Sometimes she says things that are an absolute burn, and I'll go, ooh. But she's the kind of, you know what I'm talking about, she's so emotional that she'll just go, no wait, I don't mean that, I'm sorry.
Remember when I spilled Fanta on a table, and you put your face on it, and like, I got Fanta on my face. And I was like, oh, no, your face is because your face is fantastic. And then, like, she then spent a penny or something. I like smashed it and stopped.
She kept on trying to spin a penny.
Yours. And she's like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she feels so bad, but she gets so offended. She's so cute. She's got this wee face, and when she's sad, she's like, oh. And she kept on trying to spin this penny for ages, like this penny, and we just kept on going boof and stopping it. And she was started like hitting the table, like God. Like she frightens me when she's angry, genuinely.
Well, when she's actually angry, or
yeah, no. I remember when Flappy Bird was a thing, and she was playing Flappy Bird, and her friend Amy was sitting right next to her. So she died on Flappy Bird. She went, ah! Turned to Amy and slapped her in the face.
Actually, I can't remember this. Was this when I was a part of your gang, or?
I can't remember. But she slapped Amy in the face and instantly went, I'm so sorry! And like hugged Amy, and everyone else was like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck? She slapped her. What the fuck was that?
What the fuck? What the
fuck? Basically.
Oh, mistakes were fucking made.
I bet girls will take a gif of what you just did and make it preparing for exams like doof doof doof. I love Twitter girls, they're so complaining. And they always say like they're so afraid of impressing people. No, they always are really afraid of people thinking they're losers. And yet they put all over Twitter like, I'm so failing these exams, like all my motivation is gone. Like, oh man, I wish I could be pretty, but unfortunately I'm ugly. And it's like, what? Why are you just slandering yourself in front of the entire internet? Then people are going to think you're a complete and utter wash-up. Like, what's the point? Say, yo,
you do realise the girls only do that to get like praise. So basically,
that's what it feels like. They just know they think that they're being relatable. I hate the relatable thing.
It's just like, oh, I'm so retarded, I can't even do maths. And they were like, and then some other girl will be like, no, you can't do that. Yeah. Chin up. You can do that. And she's like, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
it's like what?
I'm just like, nah.
Just fucking. What's the point? What's the point? I don't understand the whole modesty thing. They think they're being modest, but you're not. You're going out of your way to just get attention. And be like, well, I don't do it for attention. Then why not just think it to yourself? Why put it all over social media? How is that not attention? Explain that to me.
It's just... Yeah.
It's just, it drives me up the wall.
Basically, can we just say, in this podcast, we basically slagged off girls and slagged off One Direction.
Yeah, we're slagging off everything. That's our quest for this series of podcasts, just to eventually demolish everything.
Next topic, Barack Obama.
I can't find fault with him, actually. He did this really cool thing.
Well, the anger translator.
The anger translator was brilliant.
See,
it was fantastic.
When I got told about that, I thought it was just like some guy on YouTube just like copying every word he said and make it angry, but then I realised it's an actual real thing. And I was like, what the fuck?
Obama is the realest president of all time, I swear to God, he's so good.
It's just like,
I'm devastated that he's not... Yeah. Yeah, I know, I'm so devastated that he's not running for a third term, because nobody can be as good as him.
For once. Oh, aye, it's a real A.
Yeah.
Isn't it like you can only manage, you can only president America for 8 years.
Yeah, and devastating, because nobody has liked a British Prime Minister in ages, but finally, there's been an American president that people have just loved. They've been like, wow, what a guy. Because Barack Obama is a guy. He's an amazing guy.
He is a guy.
He is a guy. But people have only liked British presidents. They've only liked American presidents, like John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. They're amazing.
No one liked Bill Clinton, no. Or Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. No one liked them.
They're just ridiculed, especially Bush, because he says such ridiculous shite. But the only British Prime Minister I can think of that people liked, they only like him now. And it's Winston Churchill. They only like him now because he said all this inspirational stuff and he led Britain through a war and all this business.
Yeah.
But I don't, well, I kind of feel sorry for Prime Ministers and politicians nowadays because they're very hard on.
Politicians are just dicks.
My point exactly. But no, I can understand. It's a tough business. It's a tough business.
Well, I hate. I see after the independence when Scotland was declared, whatever. I think that's the right word. But then it was said that they're not going to go independent, and then you just go on Facebook or Twitter, and everyone was just like moaning. It's like, oh my god, that's such a letdown. We have to change the lyrics to "Flower of Scotland." I'm just like, right, stop being fucking salty. Oh my god, you lost feeling scared us. Fuck
stop
off.
Being salty. Stop being salty.
What?
Send that to every girl on Twitter. Like, oh my god, there's more salt in this tweet than every ocean combined.
Yeah, basically,
it all comes back to Twitter girls.
Actually wrote like our friend Jordan, or they can if you clear him as a friend anymore, but not Jordan, not Horden.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know the guy you're talking about. There's this guy that we go to school with, and he was really passionate about the referendum, like seriously.
Which there's no problem to it, but
yeah, he's one of those guys that's very, very Scottish and very patriotic about it. And
he's a Rangers fan.
Probably.
Actually, it wouldn't count if he was a Rangers fan, because every Rangers fan essentially wanted to be non-independent, because that's the thing. Because Rangers games, people wave the British flag or the United Kingdom flag instead of just the Scotland flag.
Yeah, and he was getting very opinionated about this when the referendum result was declared. What were you going to say? You were having to have a word with him on Facky.
I messaged him, like, he wrote on Facebook saying, "Oh my god, I'm just so disappointed in Scotland" or something. I read, alright, and it's like, and then someone else put a comment saying, "I can't believe that we should have won because there's been cheating. There's people doing votes, like moving the votes around, putting like yes votes and no."
Yeah, I've seen all that shit.
And then I
just want to see what they want to see.
And then I was just like, alright, stop being salty. This is such a lame excuse, because one, there was a huge difference. Just because a few people moved a few piles didn't mean it changed the whole entire outcome. And I said, it's already been proved that some of the results, because there was a thing saying, there was a table saying no, and there was like yes votes on them, and I was like, it's been declared, it's been like said that this was actually they were just there, this move there, and I was getting so angry. I wanted to punch him in the face.
I can't stand it when people are like sore losers and they just can't handle it. Like, that's the whole point of any kind of competition or rivalry or adversity at all. Like, you accept whatever outcome you get and you just have to work with it. And now stuff's happening in Scotland now. I mean,
who's the new First Minister?
Sturgeon? Surgeon?
She's an absolute bitch, I fucking hear. Hello?
Oh, who's in?
It's my brother, I think. Oh, my cheek.
Okay then. Oh shit, what am I going to do? Oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do, lads. Oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna have a fucking rant, right? Just take a compliment, right? All this modesty bullshit on Twitter, just going out your way to talk about how crap you are. If you're a Twitter girl and you're watching this, then listen up, right? Accepting a compliment doesn't make you big-headed or a bitch. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's what the person complimenting you wants to hear. Because it takes a lot to go up to someone and give them a compliment. You'd have to be genuinely impressed in order to do that, right? So if you go up to compliment someone and You're like, wow, that was really good. You did a really good job there. And they're like, nah, you must have seen someone else. You don't know what you're talking about. It was really crap. They're gonna feel like shit. They're being like, wow, this person doesn't give a fuck about my compliment. I'm having a rant about how people don't accept compliments because they're determined on being modest.
Is that your girlfriend?
No. I had the same rant to her actually on Easter, and I feel really bad. But like, in my mind, it's genuinely rude. It's a rude thing to do to not accept a compliment. If someone pays you a compliment, you say thank you. I appreciate that. It's really nice of you to say that. You don't go, oh, it's nice of you to say that, but then it's bullshit. I actually suck. And it's like, what? You're basically calling them a liar. Don't call them out on it. Just be like, wow, that's a nice, gracious thing of you to do, to compliment me. Thank you.
People were like, oh, I'm so bad at maths, and they're like, you're not that bad at maths. You're like, you're average. You're actually really good for your age. It's like, nah, I'm shit.
I'm just, yeah.
I'm not even gonna try.
Just, what do you want to hear? Do you want people to come at you like, yeah, you're right, that maths was shit. You did shit on that. You're probably going to be shit. Or do you want to hear them say, no, just try it again, it'll be fine. But it's just rude. Just don't deflect that compliment. Don't just be so ignorant and stubborn about it, please. Come on, Twitter girls. Have some fucking confidence in yourself. Stop dragging your own name through the mud. We get it. You're nervous for the exams. You think it's going to be shit. But there's plenty of things you can do within your power to not be shit. And one of those things is get off Twitter and stop fucking complaining about it, please. Be a human being. Be a fucking human being. Go complain to someone in the flesh. Stand in the middle of the town square and be like, I'm gonna fail!
Okay.
Because then you're bound to get some lovely old Scottish woman coming up to you like, oh, what's the matter? Have a sandwich. Have a fucking tea cake. I bet you'll be fine.
No, old Scottish women are not as nice as you think. Or some.
My
There's a
nice
majority
Scottish
of old Scottish women are absolute fucking bitches.
Wow, they will be to you now because they all listen to this podcast.
Yeah, because no, I don't think they can. I think they're too old. I think their computers get. I don't think the computers can run this. I think they're still getting powered by coal.
They can't run our high def faces.
Yeah, it's too big. They have to shove their coal into their computer.
Yeah, just keep on pumping that.
I want to see this little arsehole slag. Because I remember.
Just listen to him talking about One Direction.
I remember it was Halloween, and I was coming over to your house at Halloween, and right, I missed the bus because I was too busy texting you texting me saying where are you? I said I'm getting the bus now. The bus drove past me.
Oh shit!
I was actually raging. I was like, oh my god. No, it's not your fault. I was raging the bus driver because he didn't even stop. Like he just drove straight on. So I chased the bus. He fucked off. So I'm at a bus stop, like down the hill, waiting on the bus. Right, so the bus is coming down. I stand to the side, put my hand out. It indicates turning in, and this goes nah and fucks off. And I was like, you're fucking joking me. So I started kicking the shit at the bus stop, and this old lady drove in the car, who's like, and said to me, "Are you alright?" But it wasn't like in a kind voice like, "Oh, are you alright?" He went, "Are you alright?" in the most fucking dickest voice ever. And I was like, "I'm just angry." And so, so they had to take it on the bus stop. I was like, I'll come in your car and do it to you.
Okay, open your car. You have to do it to the bus stop. Like, why are you so fucking concerned about the bus stop? I wasn't aware you built this bus stop.
I was just like, I'm not in the fucking mood, just fuck off.
I can appreciate now if people are having a bad day. Like, if I see someone kicking the shit out of a bus stop or a wall, I'll be like, you know what? Let them have that bus stop.
I was just so angry. I was just like kicking the shit out of him.
Every once in a while, you just gotta kick the shit out of a bus stop. I can't remember the last time I hit something out of anger.
I just
my girlfriend. No,
domestic violence. So.
Domestic violence. No, domestic violence. My chair. Usually, it's my chair that gets it, or that bit of wall right there.
I like he'd stitch my chair and punch it, and when I lose at people.
There's a head mark. There's a head mark in my wall. There's a head mark somewhere in my wall that I made with my head. I'm not sure where it is. There's actually blood on my wall.
Have you heard of Happy Tree Friends?
Oh my god, that's such a coincidence, man. Me and my girlfriend were watching that today for the first time ever because we'd heard about it.
You never watched it? Have you watched the one when the antler, like a tree falls on his leg?
Well, I can't really remember. It's all just a horrible red blur.
It's basically he falls on his leg and he has a fork, so he stabs. He cuts his leg off with a fork. I think it might be a spoon actually, but then he ends up cutting the wrong leg.
Yeah. Oh, shit like that.
It's fucking grim.
It was the
It's
most grim TV show
on
I've ever
another
seen.
level.
I know. I watched the one I can remember distinctly because it shocked me so fucking badly. Was like this guy's washing his kid in the sink. He's washing his kid in the sink, like with all this like soap and stuff, and he's filled up the sink because she's a baby and she just sits in the sink. And the power goes off. He's like, oh, that's strange. So he goes to a switch to try and turn it on and off. To be like, oh, I guess the power is out. But it's not a light switch he's turning on and off. It's the waste disposal in the sink.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know what the waste disposal is, because it's uncommon you find it in the UK, it's this thing in the sink that churns up all the waste, like sharp shit. Really sharp shit. And of course his baby's in the sink. And she's in the waste disposal. And she's like, ah! She's like, oh, this blood's fucking spurting everywhere. And he's like, oh my god, what the fuck? And he like tries to pull her out the waste disposal. And she's like, she's like, ah! And he's like, oh. And she's stuck in the waste disposal. So he goes under the sink and he tries to unclog it. And just shit ensues. Just shit ensues. It is probably the most shocking thing I've ever seen. And he ends up with half a baby. This is a cartoon. It's done with cartoon animals.
There's one that's really mental. It's like it's like an army dressed bear, and it's basically goes mental at some point, and it's just bloody as fuck. I'm just like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, I watched that one today.
Yeah,
and it's chasing the wee green raccoons.
Yeah, it's just mental.
That's so messed up. And the guy gets like chipped with the candy canes.
Yeah.
And he licks them to get out. I thought that was actually pretty cool. It is the most gruesome thing. Happy Tree Friends. Go watch it.
It's fucked up. Do you
Especially
with
your kids.
Dick Figures?
I've never watched Dick Figures.
I think it's called Dick Figures. It's quite funny.
Yeah, I find it funny that Happy Tree Friends is rated as a 12 on Netflix, at least, to mask it even more.
It was like Tea in the Park, and my mum, my dad, my brother, and my sister all went on to Tea in the Park and left me with my gran. And all I did was watch like Happy Tree Friends, listen to Foo Fighters, watch all these like comedy skits on YouTube. It's basically all I did when I was with my grans.
Were you not old enough to go to Tea in the Park at the time?
I probably was old enough, but they didn't want to take me.
You had to be 14, right?
Again, I think my brother said he was going to take me when I'm 16.
I don't want to go to Tea in the Park because you just get piss chucked at you. And none of the acts. I always look at the lineup for Tea in the Park just in case, and it's never anyone I could be bothered going to see.
There was actually people this year I wanted to see.
I've never been to a gig or a music performance ever in my life, but I'm going to my first one in September.
Yeah.
Yep, it is Unknown Mortal Orchestra. I'm going with my girlfriend and
your mum.
And my mum. Someone needs to make a girlfriend counter for the amount of times I talk about her. I'm sorry, alright? I fucking do everything with her. And well, it's been 58 minutes, so we should wrap it up. This has been even more disorganised than the last one. We didn't even have a topic. Last time it was Would You Rather.
About shite.
We've ranted.
Rants.
People love rants. It'll be fine. Except all the Twitter girls are going to get all butthurt like, it's not about attention. It's like, okay, what is it about?
Sick.
I don't want to get back onto it. But at the same time, I really fucking do. We could devote an entire podcast to stuff that annoys us, which we kind of did this time. But I've not even scratched the surface, because so much shit annoys me. I'm just that kind of guy now. I used to be really optimistic, but it's because I knew nothing about the world. All I did was go out and skateboard.
I was really optimistic then, I took physics.
Yeah, physics has ruined my life. It's so annoying, right? Alright, I was at Nat 5 standard in physics, but I knew I was shit the whole time. But then we started doing tests, and I would fail the tests. And we did the prelim, which is the preliminary exam.
I didn't even pass it, and I'm still doing the final exam. What kind of shit is that?
Except I passed it humiliatingly bad. I got the second
you said you
lowest.
It. Yeah.
What?
You said you passed the prelim humiliatingly bad.
Oh no, I failed it. I failed it a lot. I've got 19%, which is the second lowest in the class. The lowest was 15%. I'm sure if I tried really hard, I could have gotten the lowest, absolute lowest.
There was the lowest.
Calvin.
Oh.
There was a multiple choice section, and I actually eeny, meeny, miny, moed it.
Did you not get
Because
that
I
right?
had no idea. I got one that eeny, meeny, miny, moed, and I think it was one I actually knew. So none of the eeny, meeny, miny, moes worked for me.
I think I got like 30%, but I would have got like 40%, but I used the wrong formula, basically. And he was like, if you got that formula right, because the most bullshit thing about physics is if you get the first bit wrong, none of the marks after that count. So since I got that formula wrong, I did every calculation right, and I even got the answer right, but since I got that first formula wrong, they never counted any of the
Yeah,
marks.
but that's kind of understandable, right? Because it's wrong physics.
No, but it's pretty bullshit.
No, but in maths, right, if you did the wrong thing, if you did the wrong equation to start with, it would still be wrong, because you're doing the complete wrong thing with the wrong stuff.
Right, but this was, like, I got everything right except from the formula.
Yeah, at least...
Which is bullshit.
Bullshit.
I said bullshit, but well.
You didn't, you said bullshit.
I said bullshit.
Alright, now that I know it's close to the end of the podcast, I'm going to find it in it. You said bullshit.
Bullshit. Alright, you know what, I'm going to end it here.
Yeah, we should end it.
Hope you enjoyed. We've not got a question. I think the question, we'll just do two questions, because the one question is, figure a name for this podcast. Cause
Give us a fucking name,
yeah,
come on.
We've not got a name for it yet. And also another question, what is your, actually just write a whole bunch of stuff. What's your favourite game, what's your favourite music artist, or just music genre in general?
What do you love to rant about, guys? What do you love to rant about?
What do you like to rant about? I like to rant about fucking everything, because everything annoys me. Anyway, so I've been Jack, he's been Jack, you've been fantastic, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I have a girlfriend.
Almost ended the call.
Oh shit, where's page up? Oh shit, it's all gone wrong. We need to do it again.
We have to do the whole entire video again.